the last 30 years, the IMG Academy has had a hand in building champions, and they've had an especially good track record at training NFL prospects for the Combine. They've had 80 players drafted in the first round, 5 #1 overall picks, and 18 players drafted in the first and second round of the 2013 draft. So that explains why athletes flock here to train for their NFL Combine.
Keep going, empty your tank, 15. 10 seconds. Don't lean back. Keep your core tight.
Being a football player, going from college to the pro level, it's a whole different kind of speed, whole different kind of strength. So my main focus hasn't been very on one specific detail. It's been more broad. Work on my speed, my fundamentals, my techniques, my strength. Every possible thing that I can get better at, I'm going to take the time to do those kinds of things. And that's, being at IMG, you have all these resources with you, whether it's doing mind gym stuff or doing, lifting, running, diet, especially the diet. That's all been extremely helpful.
For me, it was, how can I isolate myself from the outside world? I really just get all the distractions out, whether it be distractions back home in Massachusetts, from school, people trying to pull you in different directions for marketing things. I just wanted to be in a certain, scenario where I could focus on my nutrition, my health, my rehab, my training situation, and for me that was IMG.
First thing we do when they come to us is they do a physical therapy session. So our PTs will take a look at them and take them through a bunch of measurements. We'll take them through the FMS, functional movement screen, and just see if there's any pre-existing injuries, see how they bend, see their flexibility through their spine, their hips, their ankles. Typically, we could probably assume that most guys, and I spent 15 years in the college scene before I came down here, most guys are going to be really stiff in their ankles, their knees, and their hips. They don't bend probably as well as they should. They don't fire their glutes and their hamstrings like they should. So we know probably right off the bat that that's something we're going to have to fix. The testing just helps us confirm that. And then we'll take them over to the GSSI, Gatorade Sports Science Institute, and they'll take them through a battery of tests. So they'll go through a isokinetic test, so measuring left to right side, measuring front to back, so quads versus hamstrings, just to see if there's any big deficiencies that we might need to correct.
Atta boy, stay with it. Up, 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 up. Yep. Last one, let's go.
The things that are really important to me are the body fat, so they'll do the bod pod. They'll do the DEXA scan, so we can see how much body fat they have, how much lean muscle tissue they have, and then at the end they'll go through that again, and we can see how much weight that they've lost, how much they've gained, how much lean muscle they've gained.
I think for us, we just have a system that creates an environment for these kids to prevent injuries, and then certainly to recognize, treat, evaluate, rehabilitate these injuries when they come, and we all do it all in-house.
Well, our philosophy here at IMG Academy is that speed is a skill, and just like any other skill, it can be taught by coaches who know how to teach it. Where would the great quarterbacks of the world be if the first 2 passes they threw that looked like wounded ducks basically moved them to the offensive line? You need patience and you need a system in order to be able to help the athlete reprogram their nervous system. It is a 6-week intensive training session, but it's also intensive study. We really pay attention to detail. We're looking to find milliseconds. For example, if I can teach you how to reduce the amount of time required to put the force into the ground by 1/100th of a second, and at the same time you learn how to reduce the amount of time that it takes you to bring your leg back around and get it back down onto the ground by another 100th of a second, you save 2/100ths of a second per step. 20 steps in the 40-yard dash. That's 4/10ths of a second improvement.
That stuff is the most incredible thing to me. I'm a 310-pound, 6'7" individual. I'm watching guys like D'Anthony Thomas and Arthur Lynch, who's a very athletic tight end, run around, and those kind of guys. And then you want to take this hunk of lard right here, and you want to make him do the same thing. It's incredible. So just literally moving your foot, instead of going up, go out when you start your 40, and your steps 1, 2, 3 to 4 to 3 more. Those little things you learn, learning the fundamentals of that, just like you learn blocking schemes or route running or catching, all those things. It's kind of like a crash course in how to be an athlete for 6.5 weeks.